Vin's first. Let's see how his story is, if I recall. Per the original plan, you are to cross the Night River, but what you don't expect is the current was terrifyingly strong. Where are we now? When you all were in the middle of the Night River, a raging current disrupted your rowing. The boat drifted with the current as you all were uncontrollably swept into a cave. After following along the shoreline, you find a large gate along the stone wall. Behind the gate is the prison.
Yamazaki-san, ここがあなたの探していた例の監獄なのかな?
正門から入ったわけじゃないから、私もまだ確定はできない。
You observe your surroundings with your flashlight. A plethora of prison cells line the corridor. There are so many cells here. Even if we get the right location, how do we know which cell has the gold?
そうとは限りませんよ。あの謎にヒントがあります。イシスは
Oops, my bad. You were talking. Isn't that referring to the reeds by the Night River?
それはそうですが、あの詩の死後にはイシスとあるでしょ実は
イシスは古代エジプト神話に登場する命の女神だ。そのような神がこの監獄とどんな関係が？
当の曰く、かの副団長は古代エジプトの文化に浸水していたらしい。彼が肌身離さずつけていたお守りがイシスの心臓だった。副団長が黄金を隠した時、そのお守りも近くに残したそうですよ。
Feels like we're looking for a needle in a haystack. While walking, you step on something and hear it crack beneath your feet. You look towards the source of the sound and see a withered and yellowed skeleton.
大丈夫。落ち着いて。僕がそばにいるから。
Vin pulls you over and gently rests you against his shoulder, using a hand to cover your eyes. Feeling the warmth of his body and the steady rhythm of his heartbeat, you feel your soul returning to your body from that scare.
彼女さん、この監獄には濡れ衣を着せられて死んでいった囚人がたくさんいるんだ。もしかしたら。
I don't believe in ghosts. To be honest, all superstition.
黙れ。
Damn, all blunt. His cold voice commands an irrefutable authority that stuns Zachary into silence. Finn, I'm fine. Seeing something like that so suddenly just startled me a little. You remove Vin's hand, take a deep breath, and look down at the skeleton again. To be honest, I'm not very good with scary stuff either. Although you still feel uncomfortable, you aren't as scared now. If this were a haunted house, you definitely wouldn't be afraid. But you know that this is no haunted house. This skeleton was once a living, breathing human being. Sorry, I didn't mean to. You bow to the skeleton as a sign of respect.
彼女さん、少し大げさすぎでは。
大げさ？いかなる命にも敬意を払える彼女を僕は心から尊く思うけどね。立場や境遇など関係なく、いずれは皆平等に土へと帰るのだから。
Very dark. This is very dark.
そこまで達観しているのなら、先生はどうして黄金なんて欲しがるんですか？見る限り、お金に困っているようには思えませんけどね。
そうだね。でもお金は大いに越したことはないから。それに、僕には近々結婚する予定があるのでね。
へえ、そうですか。
Is he making that up? I can't tell. With the way Vin is, I can't really tell. Zachary gives you a sweeping glance before letting out a sigh. A deep sigh. Dr. Richter, your acting is way... Oh, I forgot. I forgot we were supposed to like make up the fact that we are engaged or something like that. Your acting is way too good.
僕たちのことはさておき、早くイシスの心臓を探そうか。ヒントがあるとはいえ、ここはなかなか広いからね。
Y'all then begin to search the prison inch by inch, from the basement to the second floor. Finally, in a large cell at the end of the second floor, you find a skeleton and an Isis pendant next to it. Is this the legendary gold? Vin lights a brazier on the wall, illuminating the objects inside the cell. The skeleton and the pendant are on the right side. 10 boxes are neatly stacked in the corner of the prison cell's left side. The wooden boxes are reinforced by metal rings, which show signs of rust from age. Isis in the boxes. Is there really gold inside?
やったぞ、ついに見つけたんだ。やっぱりこの島にはお宝があるって私は信じてた。
I feel like we found a clue instead of the actual prize. The thrilled Zachary goes straight to the rusty boxes. He avariciously touches them and rubs his face against them. He turned around to avoid seeing the unflattering scene of Zachary, only to see Vin squatting next to the skeleton, studying the Isis pendant. Vin? What is that? Wait, is that... After a gunshot rings out, an iron barricade immediately drops from the ceiling, splitting the room into halves. He and Vin are trapped behind the bars. Zachary is outside holding a gun, his eyes ominously glinting.
もうお前らは用済みだ。この宝は全部私一人のものだからな。
Okay. Now we're trapped in, I guess. You get to hear my storytelling. Not really. You don't have to listen. These bars are from hundreds of years ago. They shouldn't be that strong. You carefully examine the bars for a way out, but to no avail. We got careless. We knew that Zachary's a liar, so we should have been more alert. While you and Vin were inspecting the figure of Isis, Zachary had shot at the pulley mechanism for the iron bars. I'm surprised he didn't shot at you guys. You and Vin are trapped inside the cell.
Yamazaki-san, 口封じのために僕たちをここで始末するつもり?
Vin stands up and moves in front of you.
いや、その必要はない。お前らは確かに面倒だったが、おかげさまであまり遠野のことを警戒せずに済んだ。私の役に立てたことに免じて、一応命は取らないでおいてやるさ。
How respectable.
私は黄金を運び出して去るだけだ。お前らはその檻の中でせいぜい死ぬまで仲良くしてることだな。
Zachary puts down his gun. Without looking at you two, he pries open the rusty lock on the boxes with a dagger. However, the fruits of his labors aren't what he expected.
バカな。全部石だと。
Instead of gold, he finds stone carvings inside the boxes. They appear to be relics from earlier in the island's history.
嘘だ。そんなはずはない。
Zachary flips over every box in turn, spilling the contents of each one onto the floor. Among the dozen of items, the larger ones have a deity image carved into them, while the smaller ones seem to be ancient accessories.
Yamazaki-san, 宝を独り占めにしたいのは遠野さんも同じだ。僕はさっきもあなたに聞いたはずだよ。なぜ遠野さんからもらった謎が本物だと言い切れるのかと。島に黄金があるという話をあなたはどうして少しも疑おうとしなかったのか。山崎さん、あなたは黄金の謎を自分の手で偶然見つけたものだと信じ込んでいたんですよ。それがあなたを釣り上げるための遠野さんが撒いた餌だとも知らずにね。
彼が私を騙して何になると言うんだ。そもそもだ、本を借りるより前に遠野と私の間には利害関係などなかったんだぞ。
詳細は判明してなくとも遠野さんが早めに刑務所から出ようとしていたことに違いはない。そうなると何かしらの理由で彼はあなたを利用したということになるね。
そうか。 いうことか。遠野のやつを信用した俺がバカだった。
So before you make any more mistakes, you hurry and let us out. Smuggling stolen goods isn't a capital offense, but murder.
わかったぞ。全部。
Okay. Zachary suddenly smacks his hand to his forehead. His previous indignation is now replaced with a twisted smile.
そういうことだったのか。遠野、よくも私を騙してくれたな。
Looks like he wasn't listening to a single word I said. Zachary puts down his backpack, takes out a bean-sized object from his side pocket, and drops it onto the floor.
私がこの発信機に気づいていないとでも思ってたのか。お前らが携帯を持っていた時から妙だと思ってたんだよ。俺は本当の黄金の隠し場所へと向かう。この発信機はメイドの土産にくれてやるよ。
Zachary picks up his backpack and leaves the cell. Listening to the sounds of his footsteps, he can't believe that he has the stamina to run so quickly. Dr. Richter, what do we do? Should we signal for help?
その必要はないよ。安心して。この程度の檻なら僕たちだけでも十分脱出できるから。
With brute strength or something? Vin has been continuously inspecting the cell ever since Zachary left. Is there another way out of this cell?
そう焦らずに。もしここに閉じ込められたのが他の人だったらもうお手上げかもしれないけど。でも僕は違う。
He's always so arrogant. I'm joking. Vin walks along the wall opposite the iron bars, lightly knocking against the brickwork. Knock, knock. Is the area behind those bricks empty?
ああ。実はこの壁には仕掛けがあるんだ。
Vin taps on the few bricks in a seemingly specific order. Immediately afterwards, a screeching sound comes from within the wall.
危ないかもしれないから少し下がろうか。
Vin pulls you over towards the bar. To your surprise, the wall in front of you splits open horizontally. The dust from the moving walls make you cough. After the dust settles, a dark entrance lies before you. Is this really a prison cell? Why is this here?
いいや、ここは牢屋じゃないよ。
After the door is open, you turn on your flashlight and look around. All you see are sheer cliffs and a river running below. According to the map, this prison was built into the side of a mountain. The door's passageway seems to lead into the mountain itself.
なるほど。木で建てた参道が腐ってしまって本来の道がなくなっているようだね。
With Vin's flashlight, you can see traces of rotten timber.
本来の道をたどることはできないけど、まあ大丈夫だろう。必要なものを持ってこの寝室から出よう。
Wait, Dr. Richter, I don't quite understand what you just said. Isn't this a prison cell? What do you mean by bedroom?
この建物は確かに監獄だけど、すべての部屋が牢屋というわけではないよ。山崎さんは勘違いしていたようだけどね。僕の推測によれば、この部屋は看守の寝室だ。
It really is bigger than the average cell, but it doesn't look like a bedroom. Why are there iron bars in a bedroom? Aren't those for prisoners?
その答えは簡単だよ。まず、この壁を見てごらん。
Is this for protection or something? Against a prisoner?
この壁と両側の壁は部分的に変色している。これは長年家具を置いていた証拠だ。高さで考えると、隠し扉の方の家具はベッド。角の方にあったのは小さめのクローゼット。そして僕たちの右手側にはデスクが置いてあったのかもしれない。
Even so, this could be a luxurious cell inside the prison.
いい指摘だ。でも、もしここが特別な牢屋だったとして、この柵の意味は何だと思う？一人部屋を二人部屋にできる牢屋だとしても、向こうの壁には家具を設置した痕跡がない。つまり、この鉄の柵は 閉じ込めるのではなく、防御するためにある。
Yeah, that's why I said protection.
監獄で暴動が起きたとき、もしくは看守に命の危険があったとき、この柵を下ろすことで侵入者を組閣できる。そして、看守はこの隠し扉から脱出すればいい。ついでに、僕の推測が正しければ。脱出ルートの途中には、監獄の自爆システムを起動する仕掛けがあるはずだ。
You did this all that just from a few stains? Dr. Richter, you're incredible.
ここにある痕跡だけで。
Probably the mechanism. Vin laughs while shaking his head. He then sighs.
実は、僕の故郷には似たような古い城がたくさんあるんだ。だから、この類の装置も珍しくはなかった。この部屋に入った時から、僕はその仕掛けがありそうな箇所を探していたんだ。
Wordly and knowledgeable. That's the Dr. Richter I knew. As you had expected from the beginning, traveling with Vin has yielded many eye-opening experiences. What did you mean by take what we need? Vin walks up to the bars and points to a feather-shaped carving among the scattered stones.
あれだよ。そうだね。マートの羽とでも呼んでおこうか。
Maat's feather. Isn't Maat the Egyptian goddess of truth and justice?
その通りだよ。伝説によると、古代エジプト人は死後、アヌビスの審判を受ける。アヌビスの天秤の片方に死者の心臓を、そしてもう片方には真理の女神、マートの羽を乗せるんだ。
I've heard this story before. If the person's heart is heavier than the feather, then the demon Amit would devour the heart and the deceased would lose their chance to enter the afterlife.
よく知っていたね。ここにある骸骨の隣にイシスのペンダントがあったということは、彼が強盗団の副団長なのだろう。しかし、
Vin suddenly
骨
hesitates.
盤の形から見ると、この骸骨は女性のものだ。法医学には詳しくないから、そのように判断するのが妥当かどうかはわからない。でも、僕の推測も間違ってはいないと思う。
What, is it because of the erosion of the pelvis? It could be pregnant or something? Female. I remember Mr. Wing mentioning on the cruise that the gang had a sole female member. But I'm not sure if she was the second in command.
一旦この件は保留にしておこう。
Oh wait, hold on. Never mind.
山崎さんは
I don't really know much about forensic medicine either.
彼が遠野さんからもらった謎は本物だと思うよ。おそらく遠野さんが謎の意味を勘違いしたまま利用して山崎さんを立ち去らせようとしたのかもしれない。つまり、副団長が身につけていたものは黄金の隠し場所か、それを手に入れる方法と関連しているはずだよ。この島の心臓は独特なものだから、エジプト文化と関連づけることは難しいだろう。かろうじて近しいものがあるとすれば、この半分になっている羽の石像くらいだね。
You take out a walking stick, nudge the feather carving to the front of the bars, and pick it up. You said half. Is it because of the serrated edge? The feather carving is twice the size of your hand and is fairly heavy. The feather is on one side, while the other side is sawtooth like a puzzle.
その通り。形状からして、この羽には対になるもう半分の石像があると思う。それともう一つ、丸みのあるこの形を見るに、この石像のモチーフはおそらくダチョウの羽だろうから。
Ostrich? I remember that Mott is a symbol by an ostrich feather. Oh god, my neck.
とりあえず、今はこれとイシスのペンダントをちゃんと確保しておこう。それにしても、このイシスのペンダントは欠けてしまっているようだね。神話では、イシスの頭頂部には玉座が乗っているんだ。でも、このペンダントの玉座は壊れてしまっている。実に残念だ。本来ならば完璧な芸術品であるべきだったのに。
Sometimes the charm of antiques lie in their flaws, which are decorations brought by time. Dr. Richter, put the feather and pendant in my backpack. They're just two small items, so leave them to me.
わかった。
Now we need to figure out how to leave without any stairs. Do we need to climb along the cliff?
まずは落ち着いて。二人で行動すると決めたあの時、僕が得意だと言っていたことをあなた。
Riding a horse? Wasn't it? I think that's what it was. By the time you and Vin get out of the mountains, the moon is already high up in the sky. To ensure your safety, you two spend the night hurrying towards the closest camp. By the time you arrive, it's already dawn. I'm beat. If there was a scale around, I'd weigh an all-new low.
お疲れ様。キャンプ場には給湯器もあるから、着いたらシャワーを浴びてゆっくり休むといいよ。
There's a shower. Dr. Richter, I still can't believe we flew across the cliffs. That was incredibly thrilling. I'm physically exhausted, but I'm mentally raring to go. A few hours earlier, excuse me. Outside the prison, the door leads directly to the sheer cliffs. The plank walkways had long rotted away. The drop from the precipice to the underground river below is several dozen meters. Jumping down would be a death sentence. I remember you said that you're good at riding and archery.
無人島でのサバイバルゲームだと聞いた時から弓は欠かさずに準備しておいたんだ。
Vin removes a collapsible bow from his backpack. When compact, the black collapsible bow is about as large as a portable umbrella. It unfolds to a regularly sized bow. I didn't think... How can a bow and arrows help you escape unless... Scenes of escapades only found in movies and TV shows appear in your head. Dr. Richter, you're not planning to attach something like wire rope to an arrow and shoot towards the opposing cliff, are you?
あなたは本当に察しがいい。僕の考えがまるで筒抜けだ。このままではもう僕はあなたに何もサプライズができないね。
I think the main character watches too much movies, that's why. Guess what thoughts? A warm hand rests on your head and pats it.
少しだけ待っていて。後で少しだけ刺激的なことをする。
Exciting. While you stare curiously at him, Vin fishes out a roll of wire rope from his backpack. He ties one end of the wire firmly to the bar and the other end to an arrow. Vin stands by the cliff's edge, knocks the arrow, and draws his bow. Light from the prison cell outlines his upright figure. In the darkness, his golden eyes focus on the opposite cliff. He's searching for a crack that can securely hold the arrow. The aura coming from him is reminiscent of a king overlooking his domain. Even the rushing waters of the underground river grow silent. You don't realize that you're holding your breath. Finally, the arrow leaves the bow. With an air-splitting whistle, the arrow firmly lodges itself in a crack on the cliff wall that is low enough to comfortably descend onto the bank beneath. Vin tests the arrow's stability. Hello, then turns to you with a smile.
これでもう大丈夫。あとはこの弓で向こうに滑るだけだ。
I'm trying to get through Vin's story first. I haven't
僭越ながら、あなたには僕に抱きついてもらうことになる。
done a lot of Lost Gold stories.
しっかり向こうまでエスコートするから。
Imagining the position that Vin just set your cheeks ablaze. Yes, I have. But this isn't the time to be bashful. That's sorry for the trouble, Dr. Richter. With your backpack secured, you walk to Vin. Under his gentle gaze, you hesitantly wrap your arms around his neck. Like this?
腕をもう少し下の方に。そう。そのまま僕の肩をしっかりと抱いて。
Oh. You adjust your position accordingly to Vin's instruction. His elegant fragrance fills your nose. Wait, he has cologne? When he's out here? Perhaps intensified by his warmth, the smell of juniper is particularly clear. You also make out a wisp of the light sweetness of rose.
僕は平気だから。もっと腕に力を入れて強く抱いて。それから隙間をなくすように。頭も怖かったら目をつむって
It's the last part.
大丈夫。すぐに終わるよ。
You close your eyes and the wind rushes past your ears. It might have been a few seconds or a century. Century, are you kidding? Before you both descend from the cliff. Dr. Richter, your back collided with the cliff when we were zipping down. Are you alright?
何度も言うけど、僕は大丈夫だよ。体勢を調整していたし、リュックがクッションになったからね。
I didn't feel it at the time because I was so nervous, but that really was scary. Instead of taking such a risk, maybe we should have called for a rescue team to save us.
確かに救援隊を待つのも確実な選択だ。でも、たとえあの時あなたがそう提案していても、
I guess he was in a hurry. Huh?
あなたは僕を選んでくれた。なら、僕にはあなたを守る責任がある。でも、あなたを危険な目に遭わせた挙句、僕以外の人間に助けを求めるなんて、そんなことは僕自身が許せない。これでも、つまらない意地は張らないよう心がけてきたつもりなんだけどね。
Dr. Richter, I never knew you could be so childish.
あなたの前では、かっこ悪いところは見せたくなかったんだ。
Okay.
言い訳のようにしか聞こえないかもしれないけど。一応、それ以外の理由もあるよ。黄金の隠し場所が判明していない状況で救援を呼べば、第三者に監獄のことを勘ぐられかねない。あの監獄はかなり偏僻な場所にあるからね。他の参加者が変に誤解して余計な混乱を招くことは避けたかったんだ。
Right, and we don't know where Zachary went. Before you can finish, you hear the emergency. That's the wrong here, by the way. You hear the emergency care team shoulding? What? Shoulding from the entrance of the cab. You and Vin go over and find a man lying on the stretcher. It's Zachary Clark. Huh. He's not okay. His shoulder. Is that a gunshot wound? You squat down to look at Zachary. His lips and skin are deathly pale, and he's sweating buckets. He appears to be in a great amount of pain.
救助隊の人に聞いてきたけど、あの傷は本当に銃創みたいだよ。それに、すでに相当出血しているらしい。彼はあの状態で道端に倒れていたところ、通りすがった参加者の通報によって救助されたそうだ。これから医師による緊急処置が施され、
He must be shot by
その
Joshua.
後でベースキャンプへと搬送されるみたいだね。
Did he run into Joshua?
話を聞いた後、すぐにメンバーとも連絡を取り合ったけど、どうやら彼を撃ったのは左京らしい。
Oh.
中林さんをかばうためにやむを得なかったみたいだ。
Oh yeah, that guy. Jack Barlow. Did they have history?
左京の話によると、薄暗い洞窟内で先に発砲したのは山崎さんで、それによって中林さんは重傷を負ったそうだ。これは憶測だけど、彼らには何のつながりもないと思うよ。状況から判断するなら、二人とも遠野さんに騙されたと見るべきかな。
Looks like we'll have to meet with the others at the base camp if we want to find out the whole story.
その通りだね。でも、山崎さんの治療には時間がかかるだろうし、まずはその間にしっかりと休んでおこう。可能な限り体調を回復させてからベースキャンプに向かうとしよう。
Alright, I'm finally done with this story.